Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
The Greenlight Maine College finale is being brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank, the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development, MTI, the Maine Technology Institute.
Welcome to the season finale of Greenlight Maine. I'm Jillian Gervais. Thanks for being here. We look a bit different. Like so many others, we are broadcasting from home due to COVID-19. But nothing is going to keep us from promoting top talent and giving one student $25,000, a good reason to stay in Maine and build their business. But first, let's talk to our judges. You might recognize them. They are amazing, and they have made so many contributions in the state of Maine. First, we have Isla Dickerson. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Isla Dickerson. I am the Director of Marketing for Bangor Savings Bank. Born and raised in Maine, and really excited to be here and helping to support the Greenlight Maine initiatives.
Happy to have you, Isla. Next up, Andy Nichols. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Julian. Andy Nichols, CEO of Elmet Technologies in Lewiston, Maine. We're a 91-year-old manufacturer of amazing metals in the families of molybdenum and tungsten.
Awesome. And finally, welcome, Bree Warner.
Hi, Jillian. Thanks for having me today. I'm Bree Warner, the CEO of Atlantic Sea Farms, and we cultivate fresh, never dried, never dyed kelp with fishermen up and down the coast of Maine as a means to diversifying income.
Awesome. And thank you all for your contributions to our state. So we're going to talk to you in just a few minutes. We have our finalists. They represent UMaine Orono, Colby College, and the University of New England. The college season grew this year to 7 schools. They are all socially responsible, innovative, and driven. Let's take a look back on how this season unfolded.
This season, we saw 7 Maine colleges compete on 8 shows in the Greenlight Maine College Edition. The 3 finalists determined by our judges are Ferta Farms from University of Maine, Easy Eats from Colby College, and Greenbait from the University of New England.
Our first student takes oyster farming to a whole new level. From the New Meadows River, welcome Sam Dorval from Ferta Farms.
Hello, my name is Sam Dorval, co-owner and CMO of Ferta Farms LLC. We're farming some of the most sought-after oysters in the nation. The demand for our oysters is backed by our unique team, which is taking a different approach to innovation along Maine's coast. Maine has a rich history of economic success on its coastlines, which my co-founder Max Burtis and I have experienced for many years by digging clams in the summer and have seen in its neighbor industry lobstering. However, these industries are in decline due to climate change and overfishing. Established in 2018, Ferta Farms' mission is to help start a fully sustainable and innovative industry of aquaculture in Maine. The problem with aquaculture is that there's a large barrier to entry for new farms due to high startup costs and a long time to see return on investment. Additionally, there's a lack of innovation and old traditions, which keeps the farming process very inefficient. We not only know these issues, but we've experienced them firsthand. In spite of this, aquaculture as a whole provides an annual revenue of $1.5 billion in the US, with $216 million coming from oysters. Maine's market is growing just as fast, with just short of $10 million in 2019. To combat steep costs and efficiency issues, Ferta Farms is developing the flip bag system to be deployed in June. The flip bag will include proprietary technology that will flip the bags automatically, increasing efficiency on the farm by 20%. This innovation will also save farms approximately 40% in startup equipment costs compared to industry standard and allow for ease of scalability on the farm. This will allow farms to break even faster and see profits many years earlier than expected. And once tested, we plan to patent, manufacture, and license for other farms to use. Since we began sales in August, we've already sold over $20,000 in oysters and earned a strong reputation in the industry for superior product, innovative techniques, and sustainable practices. Due to our tumbled oysters, which have deeper cups, and our fast growth rates, we've been able to sell our product at a higher price point and a higher volume than our competition. And as of last fall, we've been selling our oysters to local raw bars and wholesale distributors, which market our oysters in 6 states as far as Colorado, where our product is gaining local and national traction. The COVID-19 outbreak has given us a unique opportunity. Since many raw bars are closed, we will be selling our oysters directly to consumers and getting a higher price point for our product than last summer. We successfully doubled the size of our farm last year from 100,000 to 200,000 oysters, and due to the demand of our product, we plan to double it again by purchasing 400,000 more oysters and expect to receive a projected $70,000 in revenue this year. In a few weeks, we expect to receive a new lease of water from the state, which will increase our operating area by 6,200%. The money from this competition, along with the $15,000 first place prize at the UMaine Business Challenge and our projected sales from this summer, will give us the momentum we need to expand the distribution of our premium oysters, pursue this technology development, and create a fully sustainable industry of aquaculture in Maine. Thank you.
Awesome pitch, Sam. Okay, our first question comes from Bree. Take it away.
So Sam, I'm sort of bummed I'm not in the studio, so I don't have to actually try your oysters right now. But I was really interested in your pitch. I'm in the aquaculture industry, and there are a lot of oyster farms popping up, a lot of them small, and many of them have a really hard time scaling. So I'm interested to know a little bit more. You made some claims in your pitch about how you'd really like to diversify the coastal economy, make it more sustainable. But how do you go from 200,000 oysters to something that could have a wider impact on the coast?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so there's a few ways to do that. And one of the things that we're implementing is multi-species on our farm. So currently, many farms are limited to one species, just oysters. But we've actually diversified to quahogs and kelp, and we're planning to diversify to scallops in a few years as well. And each of those grow on different levels of the water, so they don't fight for the same nutrients, which allows you to have multiple incomes in the same amount of space.
Next question, Andy.
Hi, Sam. Great job. Really interesting business. When I look at your business, it looks like primarily 4 people. How do you plan to scale that as you grow?
So to scale that as we grow, currently there's enough work for just the 3 of us, which it is. But in the future, we actually are developing a high school outreach program to have high schoolers come onto our farm and get school credit while working, and also internship, hopefully for college students. We've actually implemented that for a little bit last year. We had, I believe, 4 or 5 high schoolers come out. And then as we get better and bigger, we'll be looking to get different specialists for other areas. Currently, we have an accountant and lawyer that do some of that kind of stuff for us off the farm, but we'll be looking for different specialists in those areas as well.
And Isla.
Hi, Sam. I loved your pitch, and I love your enthusiasm for growth and development in the state of Maine, especially for younger folks. And I would love it if you could talk for just a moment about your business development plans as you scale, and specifically around sales and marketing.
That's a great question. So for scaling, we're hoping to scale up rather quickly, as you heard in the pitch. And so a lot of the business development will be meeting new distributors, new producers, new wholesalers. And so as a relatively new farm, once our brand image gets a little bigger and gets out there, then it'll be easier to connect with these different distributors and people who want to buy, since they actually know us by name. And so one way we've actually gotten most of ours so far is that we have a different backstory, a different brand image set apart. And so they really like us. And as Andy asked earlier, once we get different specialists and stuff, people working with us, it can be a lot easier to have more opportunities to reach out and make more connections.
Nice answer, Sam. And you guys are off to a great start already, so good luck with that. We need to take a quick break. Our next pitch was doing awesome before COVID-19 hit, and their future looks even brighter. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I truly believe that if you're gonna do something better, you gotta start by innovating. Think about how to solve for a customer problem in a way that's quicker, different, and more customer-centric. The bank's promise has been fundamentally the same from the beginning till now, and that's ensuring that all that we do is making the lives of our employees, our customers, and the communities better. And it's their better, not what's defined as our better.
Welcome back. Have you been to Waterville lately? There's a lot happening there. Representing Colby College, welcome Easy Eats.
Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Catherine.
And we're Easy Eats. Easy Eats is a for the students, by the students food delivery platform focused on college campuses. Students are generally hungry and sometimes lazy. They predominantly have access to food through their school's dining services, which have limited hours and an even more limited menu. When students look for alternative options, they might not have time or access to a vehicle to do so. This is where Easy Eats comes to play.
We recognize that there's this unfulfilled demand for dorm door delivery at college campuses. And with that, we spent the last year building a platform which bridges the gap between the local community and college students. Students can go on our web-based or mobile platform and place an order at the local Chinese restaurant in town or classics like McDonald's or Five Guys. That information is then sent to our student drivers and to the restaurants. And within 30 to 45 minutes, students can expect their food to be delivered directly to their door by a fellow classmate, peer, or teammate. A lot of people ask what makes us any different than the current delivery options available, like local delivery from restaurants or Uber Eats or DoorDash. And the biggest difference is that we are able to provide that dorm door delivery because of our student drivers who have access to dorms and other buildings that regular delivery drivers do not. Our student drivers also have a better understanding of the layout of the campus and can easier deliver their meals to their customers. This creates a memorable experience for our customer and keeps them coming back to us. Another advantage of our entirely student-based team is that we have a thorough understanding of the market because we are the market. We know exactly what our customers want. Lastly, we're able to create relationships with local restaurants and increase their exposure and order volume without filling their seats. We also are able to provide them with a service and delivery drivers, which they may not have access or resources to provide earlier.
We're really excited to have had over 5,000 app downloads and have successfully delivered over 1,000 orders to our hungry customers. We've done over $30,000 in revenue, with our average order total being just over $30, including the food and a small delivery fee. We have a team of just about 100 students between both Colby and Bates College, and we're really excited to see where we can go next.
We spent the last year learning, adjusting, and improving from our beta launches at Colby and Bates. Obviously, with the current situation and the shift to online learning, we're not able to provide that delivery service at the moment. But we've been able to take this time to reflect on the progress that we've made and recognize the steps we need to take in order to continue to scale when we return back to campus. As I mentioned in the previous episode, our team is heavily involved in the process of making sure that our customers have the best experience possible. However, by making improvements to our platform, like automating payments to drivers and restaurants and improving the recruitment and onboarding of drivers and restaurants, we'll be able to more easily scale. With additional funding, we'll be able to make these improvements, which will not only allow us to continue our business for years after we graduate, but also allow us to scale at schools across Maine, New England, and eventually the United States. Now more than ever, people are relying on delivery, and when we return to campus in the fall, we'll be ready to fulfill these increased demands. Thank you, and we're Easy Eats.
Wow, you guys have done 30,000 in sales already. Good for you. Andy, kick us off.
Hi guys, I love your business, love the passion. Just a quick question about what's going on with your business in the face of the current situation, students not being at schools.
So we've taken the opportunity to really focus on what comes next. So we've spent a lot of time building our new platform that will allow us to scale significantly further than where we are now. We will be implementing whatever safety measures are necessary, such as contactless delivery, and things like that. But with such a large increase in orders across the country, we see a real opportunity for this to be a good thing for our business.
Mm-hmm. Bree.
Thanks, guys. It seems like this business could be replicable by other college groups elsewhere on other campuses. So how would you be able to protect that space or make sure you're getting out in front of it before others from other colleges do the same thing?
Well, for example, at Bates, so a student team was working on replicating or doing the same sort of thing, but we were able to create this relationship with them and give them access to this platform that we had already established and really created. And that's such a cool thing about students is that we can create relationships and sort of work together to build this community at their school.
Nice. And Isla.
I love the pitch, and I love to see students lifting up and providing resources for other students. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about what you found works for you in terms of developing relationships with the campuses.
Yeah, so we've worked really closely with the schools that we're currently operating on. We've met with the risk management, student life, and all other authorities at the administrative level necessary. We're fully insured, and that's a huge advantage that we give our students, delivery drivers. But schools would much rather have our students delivering rather than Uber drivers that they're not able to vet, and students know the campus is much better. They also love the fact that we're giving students direct access to be able to experience a startup and entrepreneurship. So we work really closely with our student teams, and schools are really supportive.
Awesome job, you guys. Okay, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, our final contestant is going to transform the lobster industry. You heard it here first. Don't go away.
Whether you're a small business or a big business, whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, whether you're on the coast, in the city, a small town, wherever. If you're an organization here in Maine, if you want to innovate, and if you want to grow, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
MTI is a proud sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
If you're just joining us, this is the college finale of Greenlight Maine. Our final contestant has been on a lobster boat since the day she was born. Her name is Jillian Robillard, and she is from the University of New England. Her company is Green Bait.
Hello, my name is Jillian Robillard, and 21 years ago, I was born into the fishing industry. I started my own business called Southern Maine Crabs as a sophomore in college at the University of New England. I successfully have been in business for 2.5 years now, buying Jonah crabs directly off of local lobster boats and reselling them wholesale. One problem in the fishing industry that is becoming more prevalent is the invasive green crabs. Green crabs are responsible for diminishing shellfish stocks of clams, mussels, and even oysters. The second problem that I noticed was the decrease in baitfish stocks, which has driven the price of lobster bait through the roof. Because of these issues, I have developed an alternative bait source for lobstermen called green bait. Green bait uses a proprietary process to form bait out of green crabs and forms an alternative, cost-effective bait for lobstermen, saving them upwards of 20% on their annual bait expenses. As of right now, green bait will sell for about 45 cents per pound compared to other bait sources, which average about 55 cents per pound. It will be packaged in 2-pound frozen blocks, which is the average amount of bait used per trap, and will fit into a standard-sized bait bag. In the first year of starting Southern Maine Crabs, my sales revenue has grown about 150% and is projected to do the same, if not more, this year. Adding green bait to my already existing business would allow me to offer an alternative bait to lobstermen that I already do business with. At the beginning of 2020, I was able to purchase a second, new, refrigerated box truck to help grow my business. Because I have reestablished the Jonah crab market in the Southern Maine area, I have been able to develop meaningful relationships with other wholesalers, bait companies, and lobstermen who are interested in trying green bait. The first trials of green bait found that it is as effective as other lobster baits, and so far has proven to last as long as other lobster baits in the trap. Currently, there are laws that make it illegal for lobstermen who catch green crabs as bycatch to throw them back in the water alive. My process would allow these lobstermen to save some time during their days hauling that they would have spent stomping the green crabs and kicking them back into the water. In the first full year of production, our total addressable market is projected to be $1.08 million conservatively. This does not include the truckers that would be employed, the production team it would take, and the lobstermen in other states who are interested. The green crabs used to produce green bait will all be locally harvested by lobstermen as bycatch in their lobster traps. Incentives will be offered for lobstermen who catch green crabs and will come in the form of a discounted bait price. In the future, we would be looking to expand into other markets across state lines into New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and potentially even internationally into Canada. Because green crabs are so aggressive and have such a high fecundity rate, we are and will continue to see diminishing shellfish stocks. Green bait will reduce the population of the invasive green crab, allow other baitfish and shellfish stocks to grow back, and provide a more cost-effective bait alternative for lobstermen. Not only will green bait create dozens of jobs in Maine, but it will save thousands.
Excellent, Jillian. Very socially responsible. Isla, why don't you kick us off?
Jillian, I'm so interested in your product and your approach to adoption along the coast. I grew up in a small fishing village on Penobscot Bay, and I know that fishermen have been using the same bait for generations, and I'm wondering how hard it is to drive change.
Absolutely. So one of the things I want to do is, like Jillian said, is be more socially responsible. And I think that can be passed along to everyone. I think everyone has a social responsibility. In these fishermen, they're more than willing to try something new. especially if it's in their benefit and it offers an incentive.
Great. Next question, Bree.
Jillian, this is such a neat idea. I heard in your pitch you say that you were getting green crabs as bycatch from fishermen and then giving them a reduced price on that same bait. Are people getting enough from bycatch to do that, or will you also need to start paying people to go out and catch green crab?
There's definitely plenty of people catching them as bycatch, all of the inshore lobstermen. A lot of times they actually catch more green crabs than they do lobsters, unfortunately. Fortunate enough for green bait, we can, hopefully clean that up a little bit.
Andy.
So my question is about the crab itself. It's a great thing that you're doing to try to clean these things up, but what gave you the idea that a lobster would eat a green crab?
So lobsters are bottom scavengers. So they pretty much eat anything, and we've known that they have eaten Jonah crabs and other species of crabs in the past. And then a few years ago, up in the Canadian market, they tried this out as well, but they couldn't keep it sustainably because they didn't have enough crabs, as many as we do, as well as the green crabs having parasite, which my proprietary process does get rid of the parasites.
Excellent. I know we're going to hear a lot more about this in the future, so great job, Jillian. We need to take a quick break, a very short break. When we come back, our judges are going to talk this out. Don't go away.
I truly believe that if you're going to do something better, you got to start by innovating. Think about how to solve for a customer problem in a way that's quicker, different, and more customer-centric. The bank's promise has been fundamentally the same from the beginning till now, and that's ensuring that all that we do is making the lives of our employees, our customers, and the communities better. And it's their better, not what's defined as our better.
Welcome back. We are in the home stretch of the college finale, and our judges are going to weigh in. It's important to note, though, our judges spend a lot of time talking to the contestants off screen so they can take a deep dive into their business. Okay, because Ferta Farms pitched first, we're going to start with them. And Bree, you are the aquaculture expert, so tell us what you thought.
Expert's a stretch. I think that Ferta Farms, I really like their enthusiasm, and I like that they're learning on a smaller scale to figure out how they can be growing. I do think, though, that they should take some more time to learn more about what else is going on in the industry. I'm not sure that the idea they're proposing is all that different from what a lot of people are doing. So I would love for them to carve out where the innovation really is and take advantage of that advantage that they're trying to form.
Okay, Isla.
I absolutely love the fact that they're basing some of their ideas around the traditional throwback model to fishing co-ops and lifting up the community that way. And I think they do have a really unique story to tell. I would encourage them to really explore how they are going to tell that story, because it could be very powerful for them.
Nice. And Andy?
Well, you gotta love anything on the New Meadows River. Beautiful spot and really innovative approach. I'm not an expert in the shellfish business. I do worry about their ability to scale, but I think they really have an interesting technology model there in terms of innovations they've made in equipment for farming these shellfish.
Absolutely, using their engineering degrees from the University of Maine. Nice. Okay, Easy Eats, Bree.
I love their enthusiasm. I also know that they're both at this strange juxtaposition of, kids may not come back to campus in the same way. At the same time, people are ordering out more. And I really like how they're already thinking through that and how they'll adapt to that. I do worry a little bit about there's probably a lot of ideas like this at other universities. And I would love to see them push to try to really start capturing that market through really aggressive branding and marketing so that they can get that market really hammered out before a lot of others infiltrate the market.
Nice. They're very smart.
Very smart.
I think their business model is really needed service on campus. And I do love the fact that it is a safe way to serve college campuses by using college students. I wonder a little bit about their ability to scale as quickly as they need to be. There's certainly an investment needed in a technology platform that's efficient. And I hope that they really take a look at expanding their reach to much larger than their current plans.
Okay, and Andy, a quick comment because we've got to move on to Green Bay.
Yeah, and their energy is great. I worry about the crowdedness of the space they're in.
Sure. Okay, Green Bay, Bree.
This is just a really neat idea, a neat company. It sounds like there's a lot of traction with the lobster community, which she's working with. I'd be interested to know what that looks like. You know, hopefully this kind of money would be able to help her go outside of the group that she's already working with to see if there would be uptake in that community as well, because it is a totally new idea.
Yes, it is. Isla.
I love the fact that she has taken something that has really been a blight on our oceans and turned it into something that can have a positive impact. I wonder about how she's going to scale up and what's needed to do that. I think that a little more thought in the business development planning and also the business plan itself would be really helpful to her.
Andy.
Impressive, driven young entrepreneur. We'll see what happens with her business.
Yes, absolutely. You said it. Impressive is the word. Well, you all have done a phenomenal job judging and with your discussion. Very insightful. So thank you so much. And when we come back, we are going to have our winner. So don't go away.
Whether you're a small business or a big business, whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, whether you're on the coast, in the city, a small town, wherever. If you're an organization here in Maine, if you want to innovate, and if you want to grow, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
MTI is a proud sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
Welcome back. We are moments away from finding out who the winner is. But first, we would like to thank Bangor Savings Bank, DECD, MTI, and all of our sponsors. We would also like to thank our crew, Director Chris Bridges, producers Nat Thompson, Con Fulham, and Addie Thompson. And we would like to thank all of you at home for rallying behind small businesses in Maine. It is so important, and we all know Mainers help each other. Okay, here we go. Congratulations to all the finalists. You are all destined for greatness. Judges, show us the winner. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Jillian. You are the winner of the college season of Greenlight Maine. How does it feel to win $25,000?
Absolutely awesome, and I'm looking forward to the future of how to utilize this money and better our state and our planet.
Well, you did a great job, and I know great things are coming your way, so we can't wait to watch and see how you grow.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Please join us next week for the season finale of our regular season when we give out $100,000. You all have a fantastic Sunday. See you next time.
Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you. We would also like to thank our Greenlight Maine Advisory Board.
Greenlight Maine has been a paid-for presentation by the Portland Media Group.